about why I think it's got a wider significance than just producing those projects. Okay? And I think what Social Innovation Camp is about really is about power in the end. Okay? The projects that we're doing are the kind of projects that people can do now using digital technology, and they can do it without asking anybody's permission. They can do it without big investment. They can do it without a grant application. Okay? You don't have to ask permission. If you feel passionate about something, if you feel frustrated about something, you don't have to just complain. You don't have to go, the government should do this, the mayor should do this, Amnesty International should do that. It's about taking the power of the digital technology and making something happen. So it's a kind of activism, I would say, but it's not the normal kind of activism. It's not confrontation. It's construction. It's building things to make a difference. Now, it's been mentioned as well, and that's one of the most exciting things for me about the camp here, is that it's an international camp. We run camps in the UK, we know they work. We did an international one in Bratislava. That was the first experiment with an international camp, and it was successful, so we know it works. That people got very excited about international teams working across borders. This is our second chance to do a cross-border camp. But it's not really, it's not peace building or international relations. We're not saying come together and be friends. We're saying come together and make things. Come together and do projects. Maybe in the process of doing those projects, people will find that some of the problems are very similar, that the schools aren't very good, or there's healthcare problems, or the environment problems in different places are quite similar. And maybe they also discover that the institutions that are supposed to be sorting these problems out, is the government or the city council, maybe the NGOs, maybe the corporations, are not sorting them out. Maybe the problems are hidden. Okay? And this, I think, is the real potential impact of something like Social Innovation Camp, is it's making a new centre. In the past, and still now, the health ministry thinks health is our issue. Amnesty thinks human rights is our issue. Okay? What I think is going on, slowly, at the beginning, is something a bit like Copernicus. Okay? This is the guy who said, the Earth is not the centre of the solar system anymore. Okay? That's the wrong idea. And I think what's happening with Social Innovation Campus and lots of other projects like it is something similar. Look what happened around Haiti and the crisis there. There were these crisis camps. Some of the best use of technology to mobilize people to do something about the crisis in Haiti came through things called crisis camps. If you haven't heard of the crisis camps, you should really check them out. They're self-organized. People outside of institutions, outside of their day jobs, just coming together because they wanted to do something, they wanted to do it fast, they wanted to help the situation, they thought social media could help, they thought technology could help, they made it happen. So I think the message of Social Innovation Camp, of crisis camps for the future is something like the old institutions are no longer at the centre. It's an opening up of the power to do something to make society a better place. So that's pretty big, but it's only the beginning. Right? Social Innovation Camp, just like the little green shoots and these other projects, a similar thing. If we can get some nice projects now out of the next 2 days and come and show you what's possible, I think we'll all be really happy. I hope people in the camp are excited about it, and I hope you're ready to get going, because I think as soon as we finish the opening session, we're going to go next door and get cracking, okay? Because time is ticking. Thanks very much.
I am back, and I'm sorry to say that you're going to see my face a lot over the next couple of days as I just handle some of the logistics of how the next 2 days are going to go. So before the camp participants are released and working hard, I do want to go over some specifics about procedure, logistics, that kind of thing. You may have seen this near the registration table. These are our conference organizers from the publicity group. If you have any questions, conference troubleshooting, that kind of thing, they're going to be your best resource. Certainly, I'll be floating around, but they're the people to go to. Let's talk about the agenda next. Actually, in reference to registration, I do hope that everyone has registered. If you've not, if you don't have one of these pretty tags, they are out in the lobby, and you can get them after we break from this session. In respect to the venue, you'll see on your agenda that we'll be meeting here in this concert hall. And if we're not in the concert hall, or if you have a breakout session elsewhere, it's on the 3rd floor. The 2nd level of the building is where all the magic will happen for the camp. So we don't really want to cross-pollinate the conference and the camp too much. We will be mingling with camp participants at lunch, which will be served in the cafeteria. And you're actually welcome to grab your lunch and hang out in the lobby, weather permitting, go outside, and get to know some of your colleagues who are here. The other time that we'll be all together as a group, as Dan mentioned, is tomorrow afternoon, when camp participants are presenting their ideas. And we'll all have a chance to weigh in, to see what they've done, and hopefully be really inspired by the hard work that went into that 48 hours of effort. Other thing to mention, let's see. There are some presenter bios that are not in your packets that just didn't get to me on time, and I apologize to the presenters for that. Those can be accessed online, and a lot of the content, we'll be trying to keep that pretty current online, including the presentations. You'll see there's a group of young people with flip cameras. They will be recording all of the presentations to put up on YouTube. And I will give you the URL for the YouTube site tomorrow after they put them up tonight. There'll also be a Twitter feed, so if you're interested in live reporting on the event and the presentations, feel free to use #TbiliSiTalk, so we can all kind of aggregate that information. But I do also want to make a really important announcement about the students who are here. The students that are walking around with their cameras like this are participating in a U.S. Department of State project that brings together students from Azerbaijan, Armenia, and the United States. As most of you are from this part of the world and know that it's no small task, no small feat to bring together Azerbaijani and Armenian students. So as they're floating around, I'm sure you have a lot of questions and are interested in talking with them. Please be really respectful of the position that they're in. It's a loaded program, and it's a big request to ask a room full of journalists and bloggers not to report on something. And I want you to report on it. I think it's great, but just be mindful of their age and putting their names or photos together because it is pretty controversial. So, and we're going to talk about that later. But I did want to make sure that that was really clear. Other things I'm missing. I was asked by one of tomorrow's presenters to also mention that in addition to the #TbiliSiTalk, which I do hope you'll use if you're tweeting, to feel free to weigh in on Web 2.0. What is Web 2.0? Let's see. What is the exact question I was asked? What is Web 2.0? And you can put your response to #Web 2.0.